Okay. Jerry, you ready? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wyndham Bible Church. This first Sunday in October, 2022. Sometimes I like to tell a little joke about my wife, but this week she's off the hook. A couple years ago, I'm hard of hearing like my buddy Joe. We don't always hear what we think we hear, and I heard October was Pastor Appreciation Month. I thought they said Pasta Appreciation Month, and I thought, oh boy, spaghetti every day. And that's a true story, but I can hear better now. So tonight, the youth group starts at 6 o'clock. They're going to restart. There'll be no Bible study for the men this week, and everything else stays the same. We do have more announcements that Diane is going to give to us. I do know, I want to say that when I was in the service with the 11th Armored Cav, our base camp was pronounced Zion, but it was spelled D-I-A-N. So that's how I know. I probably will not call you Zion when you're here. So she has more announcements, mostly in regard to the mission conference.
We know that it's near to the heart of God because he himself lived this out. Be present is the theme. Our great God didn't just send us salvation from a distance, but it required him to become one of us. And so we live this out, longing to be present in our communities, our schools, our workplaces. For some of us, it means leaving our locations and going to faraway places where the gospel's still not been taken. But for all of us, it requires an obedient response to the call of God that has come upon our lives to be present, fully present, wherever he's placed us. The mission of God is fulfilled through us as we live out what it means to be present, just as Christ was, bringing us the gospel for the first time. So we are present, often bringing the gospel for the first time to those around us. Let's engage because the world needs to hear, and we get to be part of it.
So you missed the very first sentence, which basically was something about this year's missions conference. And I think you probably figured it out as you were going in. Our theme is Be Present. You've probably noticed we've got flags up and everything, and we've been talking a little bit about it. And in your bulletin, we have an insert this week that tells you more about the Kropp family. Alan will be the only one who's able to join us this year. There's just too much going on for the rest of the family. So we'll only have Alan, but you can learn a little bit about Jill and the kids on this in this insert. Then on the back is our schedule for this year. Now, some of you may actually be asking yourselves, didn't we just do this in April? Yeah, we did just do this in April, but we're doing it in October too this year because we're trying to get back on the schedule that you were used to before. You normally would have your missions conference in October. So this year, we get to have two. And we will be taking another pledge, even though we did it in April, and Bob will talk more about that when he comes up, but we're not going to do that twice every year either. So don't be confused, don't be worried, don't wonder. Typically, we'll have one time a year that we'll do a pledge. So if you look at this schedule, you can see that it's next weekend, starting on Friday. We're going to start out with an international dinner, and we'd encourage each of you that comes to bring some kind of international food, whether it's something that comes from your family background or just something you're interested in and want to give it a try. Maybe somebody will try something from Japan. See what we can have. Anyway, just bring something international. Maybe it's Italian, I don't know. Then Saturday morning, the men are going to have their breakfast. It's the normal week for the breakfast. It's going to be at 8 o'clock to help Alan be able to go and see his son run a cross-country meet because he hasn't been able to watch him at all do that yet. So 8 o'clock for the men. And then at 4 p.m., games, grub, and glory. I tried to come up with something. Anyway, at 4 weather permitting, we're going to be outside. We'll have some outdoor games, but we'll also have board games ready if the weather is not permitting. And we'll try to have a cookout with a wiener roast and s'mores. And if the weather isn't permitting, we have a backup plan for that indoors. But then at 5:30 is when we'll start eating. So 4 for the games, 5:30 we plan to start eating. If you can't come for both of them, at least come for one of them, and at the very least, come around 6 o'clock or so, because that's when Alan will come back in, and Alan's going to have a presentation, and we'll get to know a little bit more about him and what God's been doing, and that's where the glory comes. God's been doing some glorious things in Japan. Then on Sunday morning, Alan will have our message, and then immediately after the service, there's going to be a soup and salad lunch. We're having ladies bring in some soup. We're asking some people to do that, and maybe not just ladies. And you won't have to bring anything unless you absolutely want to. But we'll have soup, we'll have salad, and we'll have some bread. And then I forgot to put it on here, but after this was printed, I realized I forgot to put that Alan will also be at the youth group at 6 on Sunday night. And so we've made a special one of these for the youth so that they can get that tonight and know that they're welcome to come to all of these things. So now you know what we're doing. There's also this little paper in here, and it would be very helpful to us if you could give us your best estimate of which things you're planning to attend and how many of you are coming, and then put it in the offering plate when you leave today. If you have any questions, I'm here, Cookie's here, Jim's here, and Bob's here, and you can ask us about that either today or anytime during the week. Thank you. No, we'll bring you up after this one. You're just on there twice. You're on once before the song and once after, so. Why don't you stand? We're going to sing together, All of Jesus for All the World, as we're thinking about moving into our missions conference.
Lord, awake your sleeping bride, light again the fire inside, shatter all the things that blind us to your call. May our hands no more withhold perfect love that we behold. May it go beyond the comfort of our walls. All of Jesus, all of Jesus, all of Jesus, for all the world. Cause our hearts to break and weep over those who have not seen, nor have tasted of the goodness of our God. Cause our feet to venture forth to the nation's farthest shore, bring them out of darkness to the Father's arms. All of Jesus, all of Jesus, all of Jesus, for all the world. May the nations see the King of glory. All of Jesus, for all the world. stronger, no higher name than Jesus. You're greater, you're stronger, your kingdom reigns forever. No greater, no stronger, no higher name than Jesus. You're greater, you're stronger, your kingdom reigns forever. No greater, no stronger, no higher name than Jesus. You're greater, you're stronger, your kingdom